Hey, this is Seb from Magnetic Audio. Today, I want to compare the Ibanez TS9 with the Boss BD2 Overdrive. For this, I recorded two rhythm guitars. One you hear on the left speaker, the other one on the right speaker. I also recorded a small solo riff. The whole thing is backed up by a bass track and programmed drums. I used the pedals with the classic gain all the way down and level all the way up settings. Only in the tone I have slightly different settings. You can see that in the photos. I used an orange Tiny Terror for all the recordings with these settings. It is connected to a 1x12 Harley Benton cab with a V30 speaker and mic'd with a Royer R10. The mic is centered on the cone, and there's about 2 fingers of space between the front cover and the mic. I also used a power soak from Bugera since I was recording at home. I used my Fender Stratocaster for all the recordings. In addition, I recreated the whole thing in Bias FX2. I chose an emulation of an orange amp for these recordings with these settings. I chose an V30 speaker and a ribbon mic in front of it, even recreating the Royer R121. Well, and for both setups, digital and analog, I placed a spring reverb at the end of each chain. Here it is an emulation of a Boss spring reverb. For the analog setup, I used the corned beef reverb from Den Electro. And finally, I set the overdrive pedals in the digital version exactly the same as in the analog. Alright, now have fun with the little jam. After the tracks, I will present my conclusion about the pedals. So stay tuned if you want to know if I like the Ibanez TS9 or the Boss BD2 more. Okay, now you heard all the tracks, and first of all, I'd like to talk briefly about the digital version. I think here we all agree that it's not really usable. It doesn't sound very great, especially in direct comparison with the analog version. I think you can use the digital emulation for songwriting for the sake of simplicity, but for serious mixing, they are rather useless. And now we come to the big comparison, and this is where it gets really exciting. The TS9 sounds a bit more compressed, but has a bit less gain. In this song, that makes everything sound a little cooler and to me more suitable. It also has a strong vintage vibe, which highlights that. Also, the bass sounds more harmonic together with the guitar sound of the TS9. It has more space and everything sounds clearer. The BD2 is therefore a bit more open and has a bit more gain, and the high sounds a bit more brilliant. So all in all, the guitar sound stands out a bit more than the TS9, and I think in many situations this is super useful. Okay, and now we come to the winner, and for me, in this example, the TS9 wins by a close vote because the sound just fits so well with what is being played. What was also very interesting is that I also felt better when playing with the TS9 too, even though it felt like I sounded a little bit better with the BD2. Okay, and that was the comparison between the Ibanez TS9 and the Boss BD2. What do you like better? Feel free to write it in the comments and let me know why. That was Seb from Magnetic Audio, and we hear us next time.